This is story time of my life. A little bit. I'm gonna put y'all in here a little bit. Well, I have three amazing daughters by one man, my first husband, right? And we are not together. I had to divorce him because he wanted to be Nino Brown. Long story short, teen mom. We got married at the age of 16. And let me tell you something. I took my children to school with me. I even had to bury my firstborn in the 11th grade. She died of the heart disease called tetralogy of Fallot. Yes, this is Heart Health Month, so I am bringing this awareness to you all as well as this story time. Tetralogy of Fallot is a heart disease that is killing children. Yes, and my daughter, my beautiful firstborn, just happened to be born with this disease called tetralogy of Fallot heart disease. I say this to say, even though we buried a child, we got married young, I'm in high school, going to school with children, I graduated on time because I'm just that girl. I was raised with parents that said, hey, you can act crazy all you want, but you're going to get me this and you're going to get me that. And I'm just blessed to be one of those testimonies that could say I graduated on time with a husband and three children in high school. I did that. That was and is my life. And I can tell this story because it's true. And I'm here to tell you all that, trouble don't last always. Yes, our mothers, grandmothers, foremothers, mothers before them, yeah, they was getting married at 16. They was doing their thing. But it was each time a different time. And in my time, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but I thank God for the programs. And let's get into the government programs. The government program that allowed me to take my children to school with me. That is how I was able to graduate on time. I'm not a person who's going to give up. Yeah, I was married. Okay, I'm married. We can do this. Just because I married you, that don't mean I'm going to sit home and be your wife while you run the streets and woo, 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 how you get your money. No, I'm going to still get my education. I have always been that woman that said, it doesn't matter what my man is doing, I'm going to do me too. And that's going to be you doing you, and I'm doing me, and we're going to put this together, and we're going to have we. But I'm not the woman that's going to sit down and listen to no man tell me nothing when I ain't really 100% satisfied with you in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? So in 2025, looking back, I'm happy to tell this testimony because I made it. I made it through. I'm good. My children are good. They're almost 35 and 34 years old. Yes, my oldest daughter, I buried her absolutely, I would say 36 years ago, because this November 2025, my baby will be 37, so 35 years ago. And, I raise awareness to Tetralogy of Fallot. That is a corporation that I started in honor of her, a heart foundation, the Queen Victoria Miller Heart Foundation. I just want y'all to know that your pain and the things that you go through, you can make a story out of it. You can make success out of it. You can change somebody else out of your story. All of these stories on the internet with the women's acting crazy. No, you don't have to be one of them. You can be one just like me. Sit calmly, tell your story, and make it into a testimony. Let your story be a testimony to help somebody to understand that yes, you've had hard times. Yes, you went through some things, but you made it. You made it through. You have a success story. You have beautiful children from it. I know that my children's father, he's still alive. I'm sure he's still, lurking through the internet, seeing how we doing. He lost his family because he wanted to be of the world. You know that movie New Jack City. He thought he was Nino Brown. But baby, I wasn't gonna be them women in the movie. I wanted to raise my children in a godly atmosphere. I wanted to know that when we're blessed, God was blessing us, not the world. Because when the world bless you, you don't get to keep that. And you don't know where that's going to end up at. I was raised in God. I was raised in the Lord. So I know what God can do versus what the world can do for me. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, us girls, us good girls, we love bad boys. That is very true. That is very true. And it got me into a lot of situations I am not proud of. But guess what? Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. You got to make a decision. You got to make up your mind whether you want to stay in or get out. You don't have to stay in loaded bar. You don't have to stay in the lion's den. You can make a choice. Now, like I said, y'all with these women, these men and women that ain't hitting on nothing, but you still with them. You still making babies. You still trying to create a life, and you don't even like the person you laying next to. I don't think that makes sense, but that's just my opinion. You understand what I'm saying? I've had husbands after my husband. And guess what I told him? I hope you got children. You know why? Because one man left me with two children. Three to be exact, because we buried one. And I would think if a man marry you, went through all that stuff with you from teenager, high school, all of the things that a woman go through in a relationship, and you still choose the world, listen, not another man was going to do that to me. So I told every man that came after him, I hope you got children, because I won't be bearing no children by you. I got these two children living, and that's all I'm going to have, whether this relationship stays together or not. People don't like the truth, but you have to put your foot down. You can't, what if I would have had babies by everybody after him? That would have been 4 more babies, because I had 5 husbands total. Yeah, this story can get deep, part 1 to 1,000, okay? But at the end of the day, my stories turn into testimonies. I'm here to help somebody. I'm here to encourage a sister, to let you know that you are not alone, and whatever you're going through is 10 times the women that's going through the same thing. Okay, so you don't have to, embarrass yourself. You don't have to make a fool of yourself. You can be quiet and be a quiet success. You could be quiet and win. You could be quiet and still get your point across. You could be just anointed with it, whereas it really do help somebody. Because see, I ain't here to go viral. I'm here to tell a testimony of what the Lord can do for somebody. We cause a lot of stuff on ourselves, and we want to say, oh, the devil did it. No, sometimes you did it. But just thank God for grace, that he has grace on your life to heal you from things, to come and get you out them low places, to come and bless your children from being hungry. Bless your life to grow, to be somebody, and have somebody in your corner that just may pull you out the miry clay. That's what I'm here for. So I hope my little short story today, part 1, because I can go all the way to 1,000, okay, on what God can do versus what the world can do, and a lot of stuff we do to ourselves. But here's the kicker before I end this. What are you willing to change in your life to make it better? Because a lot of times I look back at myself and say, girl, you did that to yourself. Your mama told you ain't listening to nothing she said. You ain't listening to nothing she said. But guess what? At 52 years old, I'm single, sexy, and satisfied. You see me. You see my kids. You see my life. And I owe it all to God. And I refuse to be in this phase, life after 50, going through anything I went through prior. When I became a grandmother 14 years ago, everything stopped. My whole life changed for the better. Because who wants a grandma outside? Who wants a grandma acting crazy? Who wants a grandma that can't cook? Who wants a grandma that got men? You see one, you see one, you see one. My granddaughter ain't seen nobody. Okay? She's seen 2 friends, respectable, upheld gentlemen that she ain't got nothing bad to say about. And I ain't laid down with none of them and moved in with none of them, ain't married none of them. Friends. You got to know the difference. I'll be back.